when the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Enjoy the magic of Christmas with Coca-Cola.
Haya! Mtumishi! Ni wewe?
Ni mimi.
Ulitoa pikipiki?
Mulitani sitaomoka.
Ni yako?
Hii nduzi ni yangu. Niliwahi pale Quickbit.
Quickbit?
Quickbit imekuja kusaidia wananchi kama sisi. Nilinunua 399 shillings juu nilikuwa the lowest unique bidder.
399 shillings?
Quickbit shilingi moja unaweza nunua pizza. Shilingi 2 unaweza nunua microwave. Shilingi 5 unaweza nunua hata gari.
So tupeleke huko hata
mtu aendi huko.
Jiunga na Quickbit ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16, kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbit.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. Quickbit, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Welcome back and thanks for keeping it Channel 1. Moving on, Chief Justice David Maraga now recommends the Ombudsman be appointed by the Judicial Service Commission and not by the President as recommended by the Building Bridges Initiative Constitutional Amendment Bill. Maraga claims the proposal is a direct conflict and duplication of roles between the Ombudsman and the Judicial Service Commission.
Chief Justice David Maraga, who is also the chairman of the Judicial Service Commission, is opposed to the appointment of the Judicial Ombudsman, saying the move risks parallel complaints being instituted with the JSC as well as the Ombudsman, and adds to the possibility of different decisions being arrived at, resulting in a constitutional dilemma.
The result of the BBI proposal is a direct conflict and a duplication of roles between the Ombudsman and the Judicial Service Commission. The risk of parallel complaints being instituted with the JSC as well as the Ombudsman and the possibility of different decisions being arrived at is real and may result into a constitutional quagmire. Secondly, the proposal seeks to enhance the number of executive appointees in the JSC from 4 to 5. The unusually heavy tilt towards executive representation in the JSC compared to other commissions has the potential danger of entrenching executive authority in the JSC and by extension in the judiciary.
Flanked by other JSC members, Maraga said the office of the Ombudsman should also be enhanced, strengthened and made accessible to members of the public.
Such a move will only serve to erode public confidence in a commission that was termed before 2010 as no longer regarded as truly independent, so that the judiciary is seen as vulnerable to government pressures. It is for this reason that the JSC recommends, among others, that the structure and functions of the Ombudsman as proposed by the BBI report under the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 be abandoned, and instead the Judiciary Ombudsman be appointed by the Judicial Service Commission with a mandate to conduct investigations and a report to the Judicial Service Commission, which will take appropriate action as authorized by the Constitution.
Maraga said though the BBI Secretariat has closed the window for any more amendments to the bill, the JSC will still send them a copy of the recommendations.
We are making our position clear, and we will send the BBI Secretariat a copy of this report. If they ignore it, the public already knows the position of the judiciary. With regard to the cases that are in court, the JSC will look at them and see whether or not they need to join, or they can be held or conducted without the JSC being involved.
Maraga, who Friday takes his terminal leave ahead of his retirement in January after attaining the age of 70 years, is also opposed to the number of executive appointees in the JSC from 4 to 5.
Machakos County Senator Boniface Kabaka has died. The senator is said to have passed on while receiving treatment at the Nairobi hospital a week after he was taken ill. Last week, Senator Kabaka was rushed to hospital and admitted at the intensive care unit after he suddenly collapsed and became unconscious at an apartment in Kilimani's Nairobi area.
News of the senator's ill health reached the public domain on Friday last week after he was reported to have been admitted at the intensive care unit at Nairobi Hospital. Police reports indicate that the senator fell ill while at an apartment in Kilimani area of Nairobi in the company of a woman after being served food and drinks. His sickness, however, would later raise eyebrows as questions emerged on whether Senator Kabaka was poisoned. Esther Ntenyamuli, a teacher who was in the company of the senator, was arrested and later released by the police. Senator Kabaka becomes the fourth legislator to die this year after the country last week laid to rest the late Matungu MP Justus Murunga.
Moving on, the National Youth Service NYS says it will not pay vouchers valued at over 1 billion shillings after completing verification of pending bills. NYS say after successful completion of the exercise, it will pay 15 billion shillings to genuine suppliers who have been waiting for years for their dues, as 1 billion shillings claims are fake.
Cabinet Secretary Margaret Kobia has toured the institution as it reopened its doors to recruits after it was closed in March following the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the CS, the pending bills that have been on hold date back between 2013 to 2017, when the public institution was locked in scandals. Kobia said that when the scandals emerged, the government stopped any payment pending the verification of all the vouchers.
The multi-agency pending bills committee has verified 15 billion, which the government is going to budget and pay. I may not be able to say exactly when we are going to pay, but it is going to go to the next financial year budget.
Speaking in Gilgil National Youth Service Training College, where over 7,000 recruits have reported for paramilitary training, Kobia said that all state health guidelines have been addressed. The principal secretary in the ministry, Mary Kimonye, challenged those who had presented fake vouchers to collect them before the law catches up with them.
I'm appealing to any Kenyan. If you're out there and you have a heart sitting in your chest, and you know you have any voucher you have presented to the government that is fake, or you are requesting to be paid for goods you have not delivered, please come and take back your voucher. For the sake of your heart, for the sake of these children, for the sake of our nation, Kenya.
Kimonye admitted that the pandemic had financially affected the institution following a drop in revenue, but was optimistic that this will change in the coming days.
Elsewhere, the Orange Democratic Movement Party leader Raila Odinga has expressed optimism that his party's candidate Omar Boga will carry the day at the Msambweni by-election, which is slated for December the 15th. Raila, who was on a campaign trail at the Cosmopolitan constituency, claimed the area stood a better chance for development if the electorate choose Boga.
The Msambweni by-election, which is slated for December 15th, has attracted a host of contenders, including the ODM's Omar Boga and independent candidate Faisal Bader, who are seen as favorites to win the race. The by-election has been occasioned by the death of area Member of Parliament Suleiman Dori of the ODM party in March this year. ODM party Raila Odinga pitched tent in the Cosmopolitan constituency, where he implored the electorate to rally behind the ODM flag bearer in the impending mini polls as campaigns enter a crucial stage.
Sasa hivi Dori ameenda, tunataka tena mwana ODM tena mwingine ashike hii kijiji. Tunataka namna hiyo. Tunataka namna hiyo. Na kuna yule ambaye anafaa zaidi kushinda huyo kijana. Huyo Bwana Boga. Boga tunatosha. Boga. Boga. Boga.
Kwa hivyo sisi tuko kazini. Sisi tushaanza kazi tayari. Kwa hivyo kwa hii miaka miwili nipatie nafasi tumalize hii kazi.
Raila further claiming that Msambweni will realize more development if the people chose the ODM candidate. Odinga also used the opportunity to drum up support for the Constitutional Review Bill, BBI.
Tunataka kuleta uchumi ambaye itaweza kutetea wakina mama ambayo wako na watoto wanaelea peke yao, njia ya kupata mapato ili waweze kumudu maisha sawa sawa. Hiyo iko ndani ya BBI. Tumeweka huku ndani. Tumeweka vile mambo ya vijana. Ile vijana wanaweza kupata mkopo ya kufanya biashara na kuendesha mambo yao bila kusumbuliwa kwa muda mrefu.
About 69,377 registered voters are expected to take part in the polls. Elsewhere, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission says it is ready to conduct the Dabaso ward by-election in line with the COVID-19 protocols on December 15th. Hilary Kombe, the returning officer for Dabaso mini-polls in Kilifi North constituency, says the commission has put in place the necessary measures in line with the protocols.
Watu watahakikisha kwamba wana maintain social distance wakiwa kwa line. So kulingana na mambo ya COVID, sisi tumejitayarisha vilivyo, tuko na materials already in place as I said earlier. Kwa hivyo tunatarajia kwamba with enforcement ile ambayo tumetarajia itakuwa, then hatutakuwa na challenges za COVID.
He said about 12,620 registered voters will take part in the mini polls in 22 polling stations at 109 centers in the ward.
Bwana DC na ule anaitwa sub county police commander Malindi wametuhakikishia kwamba kutakuwa na usalama wa kutosha siku ile ya kura na hata kabla na after kura. Kwa hivyo watu wajue kwamba usalama uko na serikali inaangazia sana kuhakikisha kila kitu kinaendelea vizuri.
Currently, candidates are in the final stages of their campaign trails ahead of Saturday's deadline. Wycliffe Okech, Channel 1 News.
Ni mimi.
Ulitoa pikipiki?
Mulitani sitaomoka.
Ni yako.
Hii nduti ni yangu. Niliwahi pale Quickbit.
Quickbit?
Quickbit imekuja kusaidia wananchi kama sisi. Nilinunua 399 shillings juu nilikuwa the lowest unique bidder.
399 shillings.
Quickbit shilingi moja unaweza nunua pizza. Shilingi mbili unaweza nunua microwave. Shilingi tano unaweza nunua hata gari.
So tupeleke huko hata
mtu aende huko.
Jiunga na Quickbit ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbit quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. Quickbid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
This week on Wake Up and Make Up. And you know, dating is a whole new scene now because we have internet dating, we have blind dating. Is it uncomfortable?
And you do all angles.
And it is that what makes scientists to think about obesity issue. Because obesity, it is now clear, it is not just sign.
Can you take it out and blow dry it and have a different style?
Actually, you can take it out and redo it, just like normal braids.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Siku zote kazi tu ni kubangaiza na kudozi. Hata ungekuwa umenipikia kachai, lakini hata mayai hujui kupika.
Mimi si mboch.
Get rid of the old man and everything will point in our direction.
Not if we execute it properly.
Any boxing, easy modeling.
Right now, what Connor needs is an exhibition fight between you and Cobra.
Wangela nafahambiwe. No, not days before his big fight.
We as Connor Gym need to move to the next level. And we all have to make some tough choices. So if you want to be a star, be a star!
Welcome back, and we are glad that you're watching. Well, since the COVID-19 pandemic struck the country back in March, a lot of sectors have been affected, and the electronics sector is no exemption. Well, how has the electronic uptake, and especially when it comes to washing machine, been in the last couple of months? How is it going to be, even post-COVID? That is discussion that we are going to have, and I'm joined by the content manager of LG Electronic, William Kamore. Welcome, William.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure having you.
Same here, same here.
Currently, what is the size of the washing machine market here in the country?
Okay. We can say roughly the size of the percentage of washing machines in Kenya, it will be about 7 to 10% of the current population that we are having. Yes.
And looking at washing machine, of course, you cannot compare a phone and a washing machine. Of course, if you have money, a lot of people are buying cheaper electronics. But when it comes to washing machines, kind of it has a segmented market. So what are the key factors that somebody should consider when buying a washing machine?
Okay. Some of the factors we found out from a research LG Electronics carried out here in Eastern Africa is that we found one of the factors that leads to washing machine is the first one we would say is most people say they have someone to do the laundry. So they have someone who's hired to do the laundry. Then the second was awareness. There was not much information on washing machines out there. And the third, like you mentioned, was price. So most people think washing machines are expensive, but they can still be able to purchase a mobile phone that's worth even more expensive than a washing machine.
Yes. And the number of potential customers are yet to buy washing machines from your data. What are the key reasons among which make Kenyans decide, as you've said, to the option of mamafua as opposed to a washing machine?
So another thing we can say is for most people who have decided to buy a washing machine, you find that once they get that information, they see that you can be able to give or you can be able to equip, let's say, your mamafuas or even your other people who do your duties to take care of your other household chores much more better. Because you find washing usually takes like a whole day, and you find even the mamafuas and the DMs at home, they do not get time to do other kinds of jobs. So with a washing machine, it means you can be able to do other jobs even much more faster and much more perfectly and still be able to use a washing machine.
And talking of mamafua, of course, cleaning is also a profession that has also employed a large number of people. Don't you think that the onset and the growth of the washing machine industry will actually deter the independence of some and even rendered them jobless.
Okay. When we say, like you see from the data that we got, we found that, like I mentioned, the market is still very small for washing machines. So it will take a couple of years before we can say that this will be a major problem. But you find that, like I said now, Mamafuas now will be having now to, instead of even doing laundry, they can be doing other house chores, and even for them, they can be having more clients in a day because they do not have to spend on one client washing their clothes when they can be able to do like 2 or 3 clients.
We have seen a lot of technology. We've seen even smartphones. Now we have artificial intelligence on virtually almost all electronics that we have.
Yes.
How has the response been? Because looking at the washing machines that we had back in the 80s, back in the 90s, you cannot compare that with what we have right now.
Yes, you see, when it comes to technology, one of a quote I know is that one thing when you are alive you cannot escape is death and taxes, and also technology. So you have to move with technology. And we've seen the uptake of artificial intelligence, especially on mobile phones, like you had mentioned. And at LG Electronics, especially on the research and development, they were able to incorporate artificial intelligence into the new range of washing machines we're having at the moment, LG AIDD washing machines, which means they can be able to take care of your clothes much more better than even washing with your hands or using other washing machines.
And what aspects are likely to influence or even shape the washing machine industry looking at 5 years from now? And in terms of projection of additions, we've talked about now we have artificial intelligence.
Yes, I mean technology can only go up from here. So from AIDD, even next year, LG will be launching much more features that enable convenience and also connection, especially with your phones or even from wherever you are. And then also another factor in 5 years we can see is awareness of washing machines. Like now we are here with this interview, it means now even more people will be curious on how or where to get the washing machines. And then also we can say that also other brands will be coming into the market. So we can see the washing machine segment becoming bigger and bigger, and meaning that also it will be beneficial to the consumers.
Demand for electronic products, and when we look at the western region of the country, and especially Kisumu, we have seen a steady rise in the uptake of electronics, and especially in Kisumu. Why is this?
Well, one thing we've noticed is, especially during this time, unfortunately due to the pandemic, we've seen that most people either relocated to the western region or to their home region, so they started to invest more and also take their products upside, up country. And also, especially in Kisumu, once this was seen, LG recently launched an e-showroom, one of its kind, especially in Kisumu town, and it's to capture the market in the western region to show that these washing machines can be able to be available in this region.
And do you think the dependence on washing machines in the country could actually eliminate the work ethics that we have in the country?
What you can say is the work ethics, can say, well, most people have more time, or you are leverage off your time to do your laundry. You can see now you can be more productive on other things. So you can be more productive at your work, at even at home, and all other factors.
What can you say is the future of electronics, and especially in the Kenyan market, where we've seen an entry of so many brands, not only in phones, washing machines, in televisions? We've seen a rise in the uptake in electronics here in the country.
Well, I mean, it is only beneficial to the end customer, meaning that they will be able to access state-of-the-art technology, and shows that in this region, the economy is growing for us to be able to get these products. Like if I say 2 or 3 years ago, we did not have much of the electronic products that we are currently having, and all this has led to Kenya being recognized as one of the leading countries in electronics.
William Kamore, always a pleasure having you on board. I have been speaking to Willie, who is the content manager at the LG Electronics, giving us an insight into electronics here in the country, and more so the washing machine, a good one that people shouldn't worry about the cost of washing machines. Some have phones that are more expensive than those washing machines. Thank you so much. Moving on, the Kenya Film Commission has entered into a partnership with counties under the North Rift Economic Bloc (NOREB) to sensitize local filmmakers to adopt film production as an economic venture. KFC CEO Timothy Uwase says the commission is pushing for an empowerment fund in all counties that will aid in building talents in the film industry.
A stakeholders engagement forum with county representatives from the North Rift Economic Bloc (NOREB) was convened to sensitize the regional leadership on the Kenyan film industry and the role of film in spurring socio-economic growth and talent promotion.
We are developing mechanisms for you to produce content in an easy way through an e-film shop, which means that the bureaucratic way of accessing permits will be something of the past. We are also saying that we are introducing incentives that will ignite more production of content in the country. Other than that, liaison services.
Kenya Film Commission CEO Timothy Uwase says the move will enhance employment opportunities and promote a vibrant local film industry. Uwase said the Commission's creativity initiative, My County, My Story Product, aims to have film business done at the county level by telling stories in counties and mobilizing resources from counties.
Under screen industries, we're also talking about gaming and animation. These are potential areas that are likely to give us a bubble in terms of economic growth, and also champion the growth of other economic sectors within our economy. We know film industry drives construction area industry, housing, we are talking about transport, health, and so on.
Uasin Gishu Deputy Governor Daniel Chemno said there are opportunities in the creative sector which can be used to market Kenya, help people connect, psychosocial support, and create employment.
Even in Kenya, we can even attain 50,000 or 100,000 or even reach where the Nigerians are. You can be sure that the issue of joblessness among our youths will be a thing of the past.
Irene Mchuma Udim, Channel 1.
Moving on, an initiative dubbed Biashara Mashinani has been launched in Samburu East constituency and will benefit youth and women from Kalama and Westgate community conservancies. The group will receive motorbikes and interest-free loans that are set to be repaid within a period of 2 years in a program to be implemented between the county government of Samburu and the Northern Range lands.
Samburu County Governor Moses Lenol Kunal said that the initiative that has a startup capital of 6 million shillings will go a long way towards empowering the local communities economically.
Kazi ya kujenga vijana, kazi ya kujenga kina mama, pia inasaidiana na serikali kuu kwa ile harakati ya kupunguza umaskini.
During the launch, 42 youth from both Kalama and Westgate received motorbikes, while 54 women received capital of 22,000 each to begin small businesses of their choice without any collateral.
Ina complement the national policy on empowering our youth and our women.
Governor Lenol Kulal noted that the program complements efforts by both the county and national governments to empower women and youths, adding that his administration will continue supporting the initiative to ensure that it bears the intended fruits.
Kazi kama inataka discipline, mweke discipline hali ya juu na nidhamu na kuenda polepole na pia kuhakikisha kwamba ile pesa kidogo unapata unajiwekea.
Northern Rangelands Trust Chief Executive Officer Tom Lalampa urged the beneficiaries to exercise prudent management of the resources that are now at their disposal to ensure that they repay their loans so that others can also benefit.
Moving on, Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waiguru has been installed as the chief patron of Daughters of the Mountain. The faction is comprised of young, established women in both professional and business fields. The group, which comprises of women from Kirinyaga, Kiambu, Nyeri, and Nakuru counties, was inspired by the fact that she had endured many battles to become the first woman governor in the Mount Kenya region.
Waiguru's election as the first woman governor in Mount Kenya region has earned another feather in her cap. The Kirinyaga governor has been crowned as the chief patron of Daughters of the Mountain. The title is given to established women who have succeeded in both professional and business fields. The governor was crowned with traditional clothes and ornaments. Speaking during the function, Waiguru pledged to include the group in her ladies' mentorship program, which has earned her international recognition.
And when someone is picking a stone to hit at a woman, you as a woman should be the last person. You cover the nakedness. If there is, you call them aside or send somebody. There's ways, because we are too few to pull each other down. Too few.
Daughters of the Mountain Chair Lilian Kiai affirmed that women, who are the majority in the society, should be each other's keeper. The group comprises women from Kirinyaga, Kiambu, Nyeri and Nakuru counties.
Further afield, the United States federal government has executed a black man from Texas involved in the 1999 killing of a couple. Brandon Bernard was executed in Indiana after last-minute clemency pleas were rejected by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Bernard 40 was convicted of murder in 1999 when he was a teenager and is the youngest offender to be executed by the federal government in nearly 70 years. Bernard was given a lethal injection at the federal prison in Terre Haute, Indiana. Although the death penalty has been abolished in much of the world, it is still carried out in at least 54 countries, and Trump, who is in his last 100 days of office, will have overseen the most executions by a U.S. president in more than a century. The 9 federal executions carried out this year already exceed all those carried out in the previous 56 years combined. The United States Department of Justice has now allowed more methods, including a firing squad and an electrocution. The U.S. was one of the 39 countries that last week rejected a United Nations resolution for a moratorium on capital punishment.
In business, Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority says the suggestion to levy hefty fines on those who flout the proposed Solar Regulations 2020 aims at protecting customers from substandard solar products that have flooded the market. Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority Principal Renewable Energy Officer Caroline Kimathi says complaints from consumers over poor quality solar equipment has been increasing in the recent past, prompting the move by the regulator.
Since the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority published the draft Solar Photovoltaic Systems Regulations 2020, debate has raged, with some Kenyans voicing views that the new rules were meant to stifle the increased use of solar energy in the country and protect Kenya Power's revenue. However, the regulator says this is far from the truth, since the new regulations are meant to entrench professionalism and protect consumers from poor quality products and services.
We are not protecting Kenya Power in any way. Because remember, we are licensing the people who are going out there to install. We have not said that because of this regulation you cannot install solar, but rather do it with a licensed person.
The regulator says 50% of the solar lamps in the market have been failing within a year of purchase, drawing complaints about the quality of solar products.
A normal user would be looking at the solar system as a source of energy. So you don't have to have a system installed today which will fail after 2 days.
The proposed regulations require the solar companies to pay 5,000 shillings for any product model brought into the market.
A person with a certificate able to install a system of 100 watts, but now the capacity has been increased to up to 2,000 watts, which is very important. We have also reduced the administrative process by allowing people renew their licenses for 3 years instead of renewing the license for 1 year.
To be certified as a solar PV service provider, one will have to pay 1,250 shillings as the licensing fee, with those with diploma and higher qualifications paying up to 6,450 shillings. The draft rules propose a fine of 50,000 shillings for service providers convicted of not having valid documentations. Those who offer false information of products to EPRA could be liable to a 1 million shillings fine. Solar energy service providers are also required to take insurance on any project they undertake.
Further afield, Tunisia's Agriculture Ministry has launched a direct-to-customer program to help farmers who have lost significant revenue due to the pandemic, offering farmers the chance to deliver their fresh date fruits to customers at open-air marketplaces. With most marketplaces suffering heavily due to the COVID-19 health situation, Tunisia's interprofessional group of dates is financing dozens of special trade fairs throughout the country as part of the Agriculture Ministry's marketing program to connect producers directly with consumers. Here are the details of this and more in our International Business Roundup.
Tunisia's Agriculture Ministry marketing program to connect producers directly with consumers aims to generate an increase in local consumption of date fruits and fill gaps in distribution channels which were disrupted by the pandemic. Tunisia expects date production to exceed local demand in the next few years, with forecasts predicting record harvests of more than 400,000 tons by 2025, partly due to the cultivation of over 30,000 hectares in the southern region of the country for date palm trees. This year's harvest season produced around 345,000 tons. However, many farmers lost over 50% of their annual revenue due to the impact from COVID-19. Tunisia expects to export 130,000 tons of dates to Europe and Asia. Meanwhile, Disney plans for a major expansion of its Star Wars and Marvel franchises on its Disney Plus subscription streaming service. The company said that its upcoming films, Peter Pan and Wendy and Tom Hanks' Pinocchio, would be launched directly onto Disney Plus, skipping theaters. Disney is the latest major studio to divert its focus from cinema to streaming. Warner Brothers says all its 2021 releases would debut on HBO Max. The coronavirus crisis has hit the film and entertainment industry hard, and cinemas are desperate for content to lure viewers back with new entertainment that can initially only be seen on their screens. Finally, the U.S. Federal Communications Commission has ordered certain U.S. telecommunications companies to remove Huawei equipment from their network. The Federal Communications Commission has also started the process of revoking China's telecoms authorization to operate in the U.S. The rip and replace order is the latest move by the U.S. against Huawei, made on national security grounds. The latest order includes subsidies for smaller carriers for removing and replacing the equipment. However, the Federal Communications Commission cannot actually implement the reimbursements without the approval of funding from Congress. Betty Kiptum, Channel 1 Business.
In sports, Football Kenya Federation FKF has been faulted for suspending Mathare United and Zoo FC from participating in the ongoing Premier League lest they endorse the StarTimes broadcast deal. Former National Executive Committee NEC member Nyanza Branch Tom Alila has said the decision is detrimental to Kenyan football.
The federation can exercise those rights if the clubs agree collectively. It is within the mandate, but clubs must agree to surrender those rights. And another thing, in the sponsorship detail, the clubs must know what they are entering into in terms of what they are surrendering the rights for and the remuneration which whoever is buying those rights is giving clubs. That's it. It must be clear on paper.
Elsewhere, Tottenham boss Jose Mourinho says it is impossible to keep the war squad happy after a largely second-string Spurs side beat Royal Antwerp 2-0 to progress to the Europa League last 32 as Group J winners. Mourinho took the opportunity to rest key players last evening, including in-form attacking pair of Harry Kane and Son Heung-min, and instead giving minutes to the likes of Gareth Bale, Carlos Vinicius and Harry Winks. There were wins also on the match day 6 for Arsenal, Leicester, AC Milan, Hoffenheim, Celtic, Braga, Dynamo Zagreb and Rangers.
Tottenham coach Jose Mourinho rested his key players as a largely second-string Spurs side beat Royal Antwerp 2-0 to progress to the Europa League last 32 as Group J winners. Mourinho has stuck to a fairly consistent first 11 in the Premier League this season and has been rewarded by them leading the table with 11 games played. However, he once again took the opportunity to rest his key players last night, including Harry Kane and Son Heung-min.
To Lo Celso, and he's finished that beautifully. Outside of the left foot, as deft as you like. 2-0 Tottenham.
Rivals Arsenal finished the Europa League Group B campaign with a 100% record as they overcame Dundalk 4-2 in muddy conditions at the Aviva Stadium. Edin Ketia gave the Gunners the lead and Mohamed El Neni doubled the advantage with a superb strike just before Jordan Flores made it 2-1 with an angled shot. Joe Willock and Florian Balogun scored late on for the Gunners before Sean grabbed a second for Dundalk.
To deliver the free kick for Dundalk. Oh, and it was held on and his first ever goal in Europe.
Meanwhile, Brendan Rodgers says he couldn't ask for any more after Leicester sealed top spot in the Europa League group with a 2-0 victory over Athens. Cengiz Under and Harvey Barnes scored in a game they needed to win to finish above nearest rival Sporting Braga. Fourth in the Premier League table, 3 points behind leaders Tottenham. Leicester can now look forward to the knockout stage of the Europa League.
Leicester on the attack again here with Barnes, who'll look to go alone, and it's deflected, and it's in.
A second-string AC Milan side clinched top spot in Europa League Group H after a first-half goal from Norwegian forward Jens Peter gave them the 1-0 win at 10-man Sparta Prague. Milan finished on 13 points from 6 games, 2 more than Lille, who lost 3-2 at Celtic, but they had clinched a place in the second-tier competition's last 32, alongside the Italian 7-time European champions.
Hauger. Oh, good finish. Really smart finish by Jens Petter Hauger. He has been a revelation since joining Milan. He is having some season. Started it playing in Norway with Bodo Glimt. One of his 3 goals for them this season was against AC Milan.
There were wins also on match day 6 for Hoffenheim, Dynamo Zagreb and Rangers among others.
On that note, we wrap up Channel 1 Lunchtime News. For more news, don't forget to log on to www.kbc.co.ke. Thank you so much for watching. Simon Karuda has been our sign language interpreter this afternoon. My name is Ben Troy Njue, wishing you a blessed Members' Day afternoon.
Vera Beauty College.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika, and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET-approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design in soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725 923 550 Nairobi branch, 0728 087 689 Eldoret branch, 0722 22 7428 Thika branch, 0725 000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET approved institution.
Ni mimi. Ulifaa pikipiki? Mulitani sitaomoka. Ni yako. Hii nduti ni yangu. Niliwahi pale Quickbit.
Quickbit?
Quickbit Quickbit imekuja kusaidia wananchi kama sisi. Nilinunua 399 shillings juu nilikuwa the lowest unique bidder.
399 shillings.
Quickbit shilingi moja unaweza nunua shilingi mbili unaweza nunua micro. Shilingi 5 unaweza nunua hata gari.
So tupeleke huko hata
mtu aende huko.
Jiunga na Quickbit ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbit.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. Quickbit, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
But what if he says no?
What if who says no?
I raised you better than that, didn't I?
Did you really?
Think I'll leave now. Call me as soon as you get off work.
Give me that card. You won't be needing it. Let's talk.
You're clearly hiding something from me.
Like what?
Whatever, man.
I'm working for Nancy.
What?
Inufala sana.
Nufani na mali yangu ri. You are the only good example left in this family. And right now, I'm not sure of what to believe.
You have no right to judge me.
Unfortunately, I do, Pastor Mom.
Ambona unachunguza?
I'm your boss's wife, so that makes me your boss.
Ni mimi.
Ulitoa pikipiki?
Mulitani sitaomoka.
Ni yako?
Hii nduti ni yangu. Niliwahi pale Quickbit.
Quickbit?
Quickbit imekuja kusaidia wananchi kama sisi. Nilinunua 399 shillings juu nilikuwa the lowest unique bidder.
399 shillings.
Quickbit shilingi moja unaweza nunua shilingi mbili unaweza nunua micro. Shilingi 5 unaweza nunua hata gari.
So tupeleke huko hata
mtu aende huko.
Jiunga na Quickbit ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbit.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. Quickbit, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
But what if he says no?
What if who says no?
I raised you better than that, didn't I?
Did you really?
Think I'll leave now. Call me as soon as you get off work.
Give me that card. You won't be needing it. Let's talk.
You're clearly hiding something from me.
Like what?
Whatever, man.
I'm working for Nancy.
What?
Inufala sana.
Nufani na mali yangu ri. You are the only good example left in this family. And right now, I'm not sure of what to believe.
You have no right to judge me.
Unfortunately, I do, Pastor Mom.
Ambona unachunguza?
I'm your boss's wife, so that makes me your boss.
This weekend on KBC Channel 1.
Lakini kitu gani mimi unajua sikuelewi ujue. Mtu unatoa bwana toa kichwa hicho.
Hello, Lana. Welcome to another lesson, a social studies lesson. It's a revision lesson, lesson number 3. In today's lesson, we are going to look at study topic on physical environment. Physical environment. Now, before we start, there are just a few things we need to know about social studies. Remember that social studies is about you and the world. All right, simple. What you learn in school every other time, if you look at it carefully, you'll find that it is whatever you learn is affecting you and is affecting everybody who lives near you in the world, everywhere. So all that you do is social studies. Now in our school we have 9 topics in social studies, and under these 9 topics we have the subtopics which you learn in school when you're studying social studies. So we are saying that an example is the one you are studying today is physical environment. So in physical environment we have some other smaller topics under the big topic, which are, for example, physical features. I'm sure you have learned that. The mountains, the rivers, the oceans, all these things, the hills, the swamps. Then you have studied the climate of areas, hot and wet, cool and wet. You studied weather, all these things, vegetation, highland vegetation, lowland vegetation, forests, all this. And then soil, soil erosion, uses of soil, all these are under one big topic we are calling physical environment. So when you are doing your revision every other time, remember to go topic by topic. Don't just do a paper, the whole of it, okay? It will sometimes confuse